Alright. What's going on, guys? 420 Studios. And yes, I know it's been about a month since I've done anything on my channel. And during that month, Destiny 2 has been released, and we are now going to today is Sunday, so I think we're going to like the Bing Fly thoughts on this. And what's going on, Ghost Killer? It's been a while, man. I've been keeping up on your channel, been watching those, Modern Warfare. But thoughts on Destiny 2 while just playing some stuff on here. But so, yeah, so Destiny 2, our story. If we just look at the story, far it is amazing. Destiny 1 story. We had this Exo Stranger. There was no central bad guy, and I understand that it's Destiny. There is no central bad guy except for the darkness, and the Vex, the Hive are both. They are both. You know, they're like the speakers of the darkness, kind of, but they're not the speaker. I can't think of the word, but anyway. But in Destiny 2 we have Ghaul. Now really quick. This is gonna be a spoiler. This video is gonna be full of spoilers, so be warned. We got the auto rifle. I've actually wanted that. So that's cool. But so anyway, so this video is gonna be full of spoilers, so be warned. But so in Destiny 2 we have Ghaul, and the whole entire story for Destiny 2, for vanilla Destiny 2, revolves around the Cabal and killing Ghaul. And once we kill Ghaul, we are granted access to the Leviathan to do the Leviathan raid by Calus. And just overall, the story, there's an actual story to go along with this game. We have a definitive enemy. We have a definitive reason for fighting and killing this enemy. Now, the thing that is obviously a huge question is, when are we going to see the rest of Ghaul? When are we going to actually see Ghaul? Because so far not Ghaul, sorry, I mean Calus, because so far we've only seen him in the raid, and that's not even Calus. That is a robot version, or that's just a robot of Calus. So I want to know, maybe is it going to be the second DLC? Are we going to be continuing on with Calus in in Destiny 3, if there is going to be Destiny 3 in 3-4 years? So yeah, but so gameplay wise, I think everything just looks amazing. I think it just looks beautiful. I love the way that they have the Traveler here, even though they haven't even expanded on what the Traveler is, or if it's alive, if it's dead, because back in Destiny 1, our Ghost said he was dead. That ghosts were created in the Traveler's last dying breath, and then he died, and that's how Ghost came to be. So how can there still be light inside the Traveler if he's dead? How can just how? And it doesn't fully make sense to me. He was dead, now he's alive. Is he still dead? Why does he have an orbit around him? Why did he wake up? How could he wake up if he was dead? And how can all things have light, as the speaker likes to say? And then obviously the speaker is dead. We could actually go ahead and check out his room, because there is a glitch in the game as of now. You have to pick up the bureaucratic walk, if you don't already have it. You want to go ahead and equip it. You can actually do this on literally anywhere that there's a thin enough wall, or that there's a wall. You do it on the raid, you could do it here. So you want to go up to a wall, you want to put your back to it and do the walk. Oop, no, that's not the walk. And do the bureaucratic walk. And when you go back, you want to move, you want to push forward. So you want to look at your character, and when your character goes back into the wall, you want to push forward. Let's say I've already patched it. Oh no, he did it. Go back. Okay, I don't know how I'm not doing it. Well, let's try doing it over here, because this is where that guy did it from. Okay, how the hell does this guy do it? He goes there. He's not even doing it on my screen. Okay, so he did it here. Let's try it here. And we want to go back. Okay, well, anyway, so you can get inside of that room, look around, nothing special, just got some tables and stuff. So the speaker is dead by scanning this little scannable book right here.
They rebuilt the speaker's private quarters even after the reconstruction. I still can't believe that he's gone. He wasn't the first speaker, and he can't be the last, right? We still need a speaker, don't we?
So yeah, so anyway, let's go ahead and move on. So aesthetically, I think the game looks amazing everywhere, especially if you have an Elgato and you can turn the saturation up so it makes all the colors just pop. I think it just looks amazing. Now, could they have done better with the game? Definitely. One point that I do not like about Destiny 2 compared to Destiny 1 is the fact that there is no thing. They're all static. They're all the same. And I just don't like that, because that was one of the things that made Destiny 1 so. That was one of the things that made it so in Destiny 1, to get the god roll, to get the best rolls of guns. And they're claiming they're doing it for we'll be able to play equally. Personally, I can't help but think that they're just lazy. That they just got extremely lazy. Ghost Killer, what am I planning to record and stream this month? Well, actually, as I said in the beginning, I haven't done anything on my channel for the past month, and I want to try to do more, but I have graduated high school, and I am now in my freshman year of college. So I kind of have to focus on that, even though my college classes are, like, even though my schedule is very easy and flexible to work with, because I only have to go to class 3 out of the 5 days of the week. I do have to spend a lot of time studying and a lot of time looking over course material. But definitely gonna a lot more Destiny 2. Probably gonna take a look at my computer, see gameplay of that. And I have been kind of sick. I just got off of it, but I'm still kind of, I still kind of have the sniffles. but I'm probably gonna be doing a lot more zombie stuff because especially with COD zombies, because it's been a while since I've played that, and definitely was Black Ops 3 Zombies is definitely one of my favorite. So yeah, but I definitely want to do more stuff. I've been saying that for a while, and I've always made plans to do more stuff with my channel, but either something always comes up, or I kind of get into that lull of not really liking any game that I play.
We'll teach them not to
So
cheat
it
around.
all just really depends.
I have full confidence in you.
But yeah, so I have downloaded Fortnite. Fortnite is free to play, the Battle Royale, which is the PvP side of it, and it's definitely a lot of fun. It's like PUBG, but just a lot more cartoony. But it definitely is a lot of fun. But I'm actually thinking about getting either PUBG or maybe Arma 3 on my. Fortnite, yes, there is a zombies mode for or with Fortnite, but you have to purchase, like completely purchase the game. And I'm not entirely sure if it's. I'm like, the game is definitely fun. If you like games like PUBG, it's definitely a lot of fun. But I just don't see myself as of this moment buying it and playing it as often as I would want to play if I did buy it. I'm like, if you are into that kind of stuff and purchase it, it's $40, and but you can actually buy extra stuff for both you and said friend for $80. So it comes with, so $40 is just for like full access, and $80 gives you 2 codes or something like, or gives you an extra code to give to a friend. I'm like, it's definitely a fun game. Don't get me wrong. I enjoy playing it as hell. I've already got in first place already, but then they went ahead and they put in the leaderboards and they didn't put in the fact that I already got first, so it kind of sucks. But so anyway, so it's definitely a fun game. and I suggest you play it. But I haven't. And that's my problem. I don't want to buy it with promises of grandeur, with promises that like Destiny 1. See what else they come out with and see if it's worth the money to purchase it. Now, I did not do that with Destiny 2, and why not? And I've actually had a lot of people ask me, why did you really insist? And when Destiny 2 was first announced, I could not wait to play it. Now, if you take, for example, something else that I've been a huge fan of much longer than Destiny, Call of Duty. The last Call of Duty game that I personally pre-ordered was... what was it? I didn't even pre-order Black Ops 3. I got it like the day or two after release. I guess it was Advanced Warfare, I guess. No, wait, I didn't even pre-order Advanced Warfare because I didn't have money for it. I wound up buying it day one anyway. Wow. The last Call of Duty game that I pre-ordered has probably got to be Ghosts, in all honesty. Because I remember I wasn't even going to get Infinite Warfare, not Infinite, Advanced Warfare for a while, but then I made a new friend in my sophomore year of high school, and he already had it pre-ordered for Xbox 360, so I was like, you know what, fuck it, I'm gonna go ahead and buy it for Xbox 360, because that was the only console I had at the time, Xbox 360.
Guardian, there's an arsenal catch on its way. Do what you do best.
Alright, let's do this. Let's do this. Let's do this.
Will they ever learn?
Come on, dude, we gotta take out the same leg. Lego. Something else I don't really like about Destiny 2 is the fact that we already had a bunch of planets. Well, not a bunch, but we already had a couple of planets back from Destiny 1. We had the Dreadnought, we had Venus, we had the moon, Earth's moon. Why take him out? Like, there wasn't any reason for them to take those out. And another video I saw by a much bigger YouTuber, Timber or something like that, he brought up the fact that it's Iron Banner week, and yet Saladin acts like he's never met us. He acts like we've had no experience with them before. And in the description of Saladin, when you go to give him their tokens, if you look on the bottom left hand side, it says the last remaining Iron Lord, which is bullshit, because in the Rise of Iron we became an Iron Lord. Saladin told us, now take your place as a Lord of Iron, or as an Iron Lord. So why act like he's never met us? And yeah, sure, you know, I totally understand that what about new players who never played Destiny 1? I don't think it would be that hard if they can make these games this big and this, you know, nice looking. I think they should be able to make it where you have different quotes, where you have different outcomes of different missions, or from talking to people. If you've played Destiny 1 and how much of Destiny 1 you played, if you completed the raids, which raids you have completed, all that stuff, I think they should have done that. And it would have made it much more immersive. All in all, do I like Destiny 2? Yes, I love it. But do I think it's an amazing game? No, I don't. I feel like Destiny 2 should have been an expansion. The Cabal expansion for Destiny 1 that we've never gotten, and that's what it feels like. It just feels like another expansion. And in theory, that's not a bad thing. It's really not. But they've had years. They have spent years making Destiny 2. They did not have the handicap, or not the handicap, but they didn't. But back in what happened with Destiny 1, they didn't have that. They didn't have their lead story writer quit because the company was screwing up. because they weren't giving him his rights or his freedom or whatever happened. They didn't have that. So there's no reason for them to make a I'm like, the game is lackluster. It really is. You can't replay the story, which in my opinion, there's no replay value to it. There's never been a replay value to any story mission in Destiny 1 or Destiny 2.
This tunnel looks promising.
Unlike, let's say, their previous Halo games. I loved playing their Halo games. I loved it always had a massive replay value for me.
Fallen banners. We're definitely on the right track.
But now, in Destiny and Destiny 2, it was interesting. I'm not going to say it wasn't fun playing the story. It was. It was interesting to be introduced into this new world. It was interesting to play from a brand new perspective. But after you play it for the first time, like me, if you've been watching since the beginning, you've noticed that I have three characters. Each character is my Titan and my Warlock can get up to 304. Each one needs one more armor piece to be 305. But then my Hunter is about 303, 302, maybe even 301. That means I've gone through the story a minimum of 3 times. First time, it was alright. Second and third time, it was just boring. It was just me having to do all that shit again, just so I can get to the juicy stuff, just so I can get to the Nightfall, to doing strikes, to doing the raid.
So we can clear it out for good.
I didn't have fun playing story again.
And not sacrifice more people.
Now, do I love playing Destiny 2? Yeah, I do. But it's not because it's an amazing game. It is leaps above and beyond what Destiny 1 was, by far. And there's no possible way for you to say it's worse. Overall. In certain aspects, yes, it is terrible compared to Destiny 1. But in general, I think it looks better. It has a lot more to it. But,
Hold them off, and I'll use that shank cord to shut down the
you know,
remote.
they tried to have us build a relationship with the characters, with the speaker. I think they've tried to make us
No more jamming.
just talk, or not talk, but have feelings and have a connection with, like, Zavala,
We can reach out to the rest of the system.
Corey, Cade even.
Then we can start rallying guardians to strike
But
back against the Red Legion.
they have the only one that has any
Plenty of time for both.
sort of character is Cade.
Here when you can, you two.
And they've tried so hard to make us have some sort of connection with them, but you can't, because there's nothing to connect with. They're just there. I've learned nothing from this game on my own. Everything that I've learned about the characters, about the lore, about the world, it has generally been from YouTube videos, from My Name is Bife, from Mylan Games. That does not make a good game. I love the Grimoire cards. I granted most of it I couldn't understand because they were really weird, or they were created weird, yeah, but they were amazing because it expanded the world. Did I think that they should have put them in game? Oh yeah, definitely. Did I think that they should have at least made some sort of app or Google Chrome extension that made it easier to read instead of having to go on to instead of like having to go onto their website. Maybe something where you could search for a certain word or a certain phrase or maybe even certain characters. Oh yeah, definitely. Then I like the idea of dead ghosts lying around, and you had to find those dead ghosts to learn more about the world. Yes, I'm not gonna lie, I enjoyed those. I enjoyed that immensely because it allowed you to get as in depth to the world as much as you wanted. Almost like The Witcher 3, but not entirely. But well, actually, nowhere near like The Witcher 3 was. I haven't even played The Witcher 3, but I've just seen gameplay and I've seen stuff about it, and it looks like and you can go really in depth if you wanted to.
Get ready. The blight's open.
Sweet. But yeah, but so anyway, so do I think that they should have kept the Grimoire cards? Most definitely. Am I glad that they took it out? Once again, no, I'm not. Should they have kept them and maybe made them easier to access in-game? Yes. Should they have kept them on their website? Yes. I don't think that they should have just stopped doing one version of Grimoire cards and completely started up a new one. I feel like they should have kept the old one, but put it in the game as well. So people could read them on the go when they're just like sitting in a doctor's office or something like that. Or maybe on the bus and they just want to go ahead and look up, you know, and just go ahead and read up on the lore.
One taken champion chased away.
You'll be feeling that tomorrow. Superlative Guardian. You never disappoint.
So like I know at this point I'm basically just kind of, you know, regurgitating the same information over and over again. But once again, do I think that Destiny 2 is amazing? Do I think that it blows Destiny 1 out of the water? In some aspects, hands down, yes, in some aspects. But in most, like with how they present the lore. No, I don't think so. I think the Grimoire cards were an amazing idea. They were they were amazing in and of themselves, but the way that they implemented them was disgusting.
Oh, hang on. Someone left a note here. EDZ Forest taken energy? Question mark. Red Legion.
Actually, no, I don't think they were disgusting. I think that they were A-okay as they were.
Guardian, we've heard disturbing reports from your area.
It's not like
Cabal with its powers.
it's not like it was glitchy. It's not like you couldn't find what you wanted to find.
Unusual.
I think they had them set up extremely well, but they only went half of the way that they should have. They should have continued. They should have continued on and put it in the game as well, which they tried to do with this game, with Destiny 2, with lore tabs on raid gear, trials gear, and exotics. But what about the Iron Banner gear? Oh, bless me.
Red Legion scions are bad enough. They really have taken powers.
Since when did Cabal and Taken start sharing toys anyway?
We can figure out the connection later. For now, we must uncover the source of this energy.
Do I wish that there were do I wish that there was more in Destiny 2? Vanilla Destiny 2? Oh, yeah. There's so many things that they could have, should have, but didn't do.
No good. Taken energy readings are increasing. And it's spreading to scions all over the area.
If that's true, it could
But
bring
why didn't they do any of the stuff that they should have, could have done? I don't know. I wish I did know, so I could slap some of them upside the head and say, come on, really? I mean, like, Grimoire's one thing. Having weapons have different perks is a clear second.
Got it. I pulled location data from that Centurion. But we have to go into the forest.
You sure about that, buddy? Don't want to get, you know...
Bringing back the old places, because there's no reason we shouldn't be able to visit the old places at least.
exactly happened to you, Nessus.
I mean, I'm like even they didn't have it have that much to do with the story. We should still be able to visit them, explore more, or maybe not even explore the same areas that we did before. Maybe we could explore different areas, but on bases like how what they did Earth, where we're on Earth. We were on Earth for most of the first game, I think. But we are now exploring a different part of Earth.
No, they did not get eaten yet. But
Instead of old Russia, we are now in the European Dead Zone, which should have been part of Destiny 1, I think.
that may be the safest bet you've made in years.
Honestly, I feel like everything in Destiny 2,
That portal
I
connects
feel like it hasn't.
on the way to force it open.
I feel like everything in Destiny 2, they've had set up for they had it for Destiny 1, but they just never implemented it because of their time scans or time, or because like their inability to do it correctly since they fucked up and got one of their leading story writers to quit.
Did you see that? He got stunned when we took out his scion.
Severing their bond must cause a backlash to the host. Interesting.
Am I the only one who has no idea what any of you are talking about?
Yes.
So all in all, I feel like Destiny 2 is more of an expansion.
Okay, there are a lot more Cabal than I was expecting.
Well, they
I'm
may
like
not
just
like you trespassing.
I'm like just imagine it. They could have done something differently with the tower, or maybe kept the tower the same. Maybe they. I'm like I feel like they did an amazing job with how they handled the tower, with how the tower is destroyed,
Big take.
because
Take
I'm
so big.
like they know for a fact that
Colossus, of course. You must destroy it.
because I'm like they must know for a fact that that a lot of people have been with them throughout all 3 years, and oh wow. And that
Did it. They're all gone.
Well, that'll set the Legion back a ways. Serves them right, messing with things they don't understand.
Which is your area of expertise, after all. As for you, Guardian, well done. If that brute had gotten loose with the Scions, there may have been no stopping it.
And then I couldn't have collected on that back. They can take it. Told you.
Ah, Assistant. You are just in time to join my Dimensional Anomaly Research Group.
Captain, hello. Azure Mirror says that I will provide the computational support and you will provide the brute force. He is very rude.
Let us begin with barbaric close combat against the Taken. It is a scientifically sound proposition and is in no way suspicious.
them not to dig around here.
I have full confidence in you.
almost to the research base.